I'm Emily Moshak, and you're listening to Tuned Into NoCo, Town Square Media's show that lets you know what matters in NoCo. I'm talking today with Caitlin Zobel, the blood donor recruiter at UC Health's Garth England Blood Centers, about donating plasma, which is very important during the COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you for joining me today, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you have been here before, so welcome back. But for those who may not have heard your last interview, can you just give me a quick overview about the Garth England Blood Centers and your role there?
Of course. So, the Garth England Blood Centers, we have two locations, one in Loveland and our main center being in Fort Collins. They're open 5 days a week. We are always looking for whole blood donors, platelet donors, plasma donors, and like we're going to chat about today, now we're looking for convalescent plasma donors. So, my role with UC Health is all encompassing as far as the donor center goes. I help recruit donors, I coordinate the blood drives. I have the privilege of speaking with community members and people such as yourself, marketing for the needs of the donor center. So it's a lot of fun.
I bet. And like you said last time, we talked about blood donations, but with COVID-19 now, we're here to talk about, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, so you'll have to correct me again, but
Okay.
convalescent, am I saying it right?
Perfect. Nailed it.
Convalescent plasma. Yes. So what does this mean?
That is a great question. So essentially, we are looking for people who have recovered from COVID-19. Just like any other virus, during the virus, your body develops antibodies, and this convalescent plasma is what we have now to help boost people's immune systems and basically help those who are suffering currently with COVID. It helps them really battle the invasion. So the science of it essentially is people who have recovered, and what it really is convalescence from the COVID-19, they are able to use those antibodies in the plasma donations.
Wow. And now clearly that is obviously incredibly important. But from your perspective personally, why is it so important to donate plasma right now?
Well, the convalescent plasma specifically, it is one of the only treatments that doctors have right now. So I know that there is a lot of things in the works as far as a vaccine and everything goes, but the plasma is something that people can do right now to help. So those who have, had the sickness and they have recovered and they know what it was like to be ill and be so severely ill, they can help others with a mere 90 minutes of their time. So that's about how long the donation will take, start to finish. So again, that 90 minutes can truly help someone in need. Those people right now who are hospitalized and who need this product. It's just such an easy and efficient way to help.
Now, I know you have to have had COVID-19 before, but can you just go into a little bit more detail about who is eligible to donate this convalescent plasma?
Definitely. So the eligibility process is a little bit more stringent than regular platelet or plasma donation. So to be eligible, a person must be symptom free for at least 14 days before the donation. But they also had to have experienced COVID-19 symptoms, and that's including a fever, within the past 6 weeks. So it's really between that 14 days to 6 week mark that we're looking for our people. You will have to have experienced a fever. So that's a main thing. When we say symptoms, again, we really base this off of the last date that you experienced the fever. So on top of that, we also have our basic requirements for blood donation and the additional FDA requirements. I would like to put a plug in there that some of the timelines have changed. Essentially, most of the timelines for deferrals that were 12 months long for the FDA, they're now 3 months. So I'm encouraging people to check out our website or reach out to me if they have questions on their eligibility, because people may think they're not eligible based on travel or whatever the case may be. And with these recent changes since the pandemic has started, they might actually be eligible.
And I know the process is about 90 minutes, but can you walk me through that? What is donating like from start to finish?
Definitely. So again, with convalescent plasma, it's a little bit different. Basically, I will pre-screen these donors over the phone. So we'll start by confirming that you had a positive lab test, whether it was the PCR nasal swab or the antibody test. We do require one of those to be positive. So from there, we will review the test results. I will pre-screen you. And basically what that looks like is just taking some quick information as far as demographics go, and then going over the health questionnaire form. It's about 45 questions. You fill it out every time you come to donate, but this really allows people to think about their eligibility so that we know, we never want to waste anyone's time or bring anyone from different parts of Colorado to us if they end up not being eligible because of one of the requirements. So I will review all of that with the potential donor. Pending everything is good, we get the green light after that from the pre-screening. You will come to our donor center. And I know I mentioned earlier, we have 2 donor centers, but for this specific type of donation, we're only allowing it at our Fort Collins location. Again, that's our main center. It has a little bit more space for us. So all donations are taking place at the Fort Collins location. And when you arrive on site, you will actually fill out that paper that I review with you. So you will fill it out, do a quick vitals, just standard for any type of blood, platelet, plasma donation, wanting to make sure it is safe not only for the donor, but also for the recipient of the product. And after that, again, everything green light, you will move over to the other side of the center and actually donate. So a little bit more stringent than just a regular blood donation. It will take about an hour. So the first half of it, 30 minutes filling out the paperwork, doing the vitals. Second chunk of it will be that 60 minutes on the machine. And specifically, it's called an apheresis machine. So we will take your plasma and we'll return your red blood cells to you. So no red blood cells will be taken. It'll be strictly your plasma. So it's a very unique and special and important and amazing machine that someone created that allows us to be able to do this.
Definitely. What do people need to do to prepare if they are already eligible and they have an appointment? Do they need to eat food, wear comfortable clothes? What would your advice be?
Definitely. So we always prefer, I would say require over prefer a good meal. So definitely eat a good meal. And we always encourage people to hydrate well. And a lot of people think this means just chugging a water bottle in the car before they come inside and, negating their morning coffee. But really what it means is starting about 24 hours before your donation, really, really, really hydrating. So just making sure you have plenty of water because that will help your veins. It'll help the flow. It'll help the donation. It'll be more comfortable for not only the donor, but, it'll make it better for the phlebotomist. So definitely encourage water. Definitely encourage a nice, good meal before you come in. Always comfortable. We will do our best to make it a spa-like experience for you. We have heated blankets. We'll, nurture you. We'll give you all the snacks. We'll give you Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you need, cookies. Hopefully there'll be a fun little giveaway available as well. So
I love it. That's awesome. Is it possible for people to donate the plasma more than once, or is this a one-time thing?
that's a great question. So again, the convalescent plasma has a different timeline on eligibility than any other type of donation. So for this specific type of donation, you can donate once every 7 days for up to 2 months. So
Oh, wow.
yes, we
Yeah.
can get, if the timing adds up as far as how early we get the donor in, we can get quite a bit of product.
How have donations been going so far?
Yeah, they've been going really well. It's a catch-22 because when it's going well, that means a lot of people were sick, which is obviously, not great, but it's great that these people have come forward and offered to help others who are now in their position that they were in, the 14 days ago or whatever the timeline may be. Over the past couple of weeks, I would say we have seen a dip in donations and an increase actually in numbers in our area. So really looking to combat that and, get the word out and encourage those who have been sick over the past few weeks just to reach out. Even if you're not at that 14-day mark, you can go ahead and reach out to me and we can kind of start the process and check on early eligibility. So in the beginning, it was definitely a little bit heavier than now. So looking to get back to where we were as far as having more people in.
Hmm. And now I know you've worked with donors, which means former COVID-19 patients a lot. Do you have any personal stories about people who have received treatment or had the virus that you would like to share?
I don't have any personal stories as far as those who have received treatment. I do know numbers wise that we have helped over 150 hospitalized patients. So I'm sure out of those 150 people, there's some very grateful ones in there. If not all of them, I'm sure are very grateful. So I can speak to that. We did have a nurse who you may have seen the story. She is a nurse at PVH, and this was very early on in all of the convalescent plasma. She was one of our first donors, and she was wonderful and allowed us to interview her and do some marketing around her experience. And I had the pleasure of chatting with her a lot over the phone, just about overall her experience with COVID, her experience with donating the convalescent plasma. And it's really wonderful. She's already a nurse, so she's already on the front lines always, pre COVID, pre pandemic, and now she's in it. And then she went above and beyond and, decided, hey, I'm still going to give back even more. Not only am I going to give back my time and my job and everything, I'm going to give back, a part of me to these people. So I thought it's always really wonderful seeing people who are already so busy and have so much going on right now to really take a step back and still take the time to donate.
Yes, that is absolutely fantastic. And I know we here at Town Square and all of our listeners are so grateful for nurses like that and people like you who are working so hard on the front lines. We can't say how much we appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much.
And now, for people who I'm sure after hearing this are looking to donate if they're able to, how do they sign up? Where do they go? How can they get started?
Yes, definitely want to touch on that. So people can reach out to me directly. I will encourage them to call my direct line at the hospital, and it's 970-495-8987. You can also email us, and the email that you can contact is either my direct one, which is Caitlin, Kaitlin .Zobel, Zobel at uchealth.org. There's also another one that I manage that is a little bit easier to remember. It's just donateblood at uchealth.org. So plenty of ways to get in touch with me. If you actually go on the UC Health website, and it's uchealth.org/COVID-19, it should take you to one of the main pages, and there's a little tab on there that says COVID-19, and it'll take you to the convalescent plasma. And there's a quick form you can fill out that basically just saves us a step. It's maybe 5 questions, but it'll be 5 questions that I would ask you anyways. So it's helpful for people to go ahead and fill that out, so I can know going into it the main things are already checked off the list. So there's that as well. Always a way to reach out.
What else would you like listeners to know about the convalescent plasma donations, blood donations, or just anything else that UC Health would like to get out in general?
Definitely. So the Donor Center is always looking for blood donors, platelet donors, plasma donors, and now, like I mentioned in the start of all of this, convalescent plasma donors. So if you are types O and type A, we are always looking for your whole blood. Right now, again, the summer months, the pandemic, everything is just very up in the air as far as collections go in our mobile blood drive. So if you are type O or type A, please give us a call. We'd love to have you in as a donor with us. And then all of our type AB or B donors, we'd love to have you in for a platelet donation. So I always like to let people know, even if you've never donated platelets before, again, all the contact information I just shared, reach out. I'd be happy to walk you through the process. All of the things I just mentioned are super important. Every single one of them plays a role in saving our patients' lives and helping people recover and get back to their families quicker. So every donation is important, even if it's, not necessarily the convalescent plasma. You're still directly impacting a patient's life, and you're still directly helping someone during this really hard time for a lot of people.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Caitlin, for taking the time to talk to me today. I learned a lot, and I hope this helps some of the people who really need it. So I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Again, that was Caitlin Zobel, the donor recruiter at Garth England's Blood Centers with UC Health. If you think you would be able to donate convalescent plasma for COVID-19 patients. Contact Caitlin by emailing donateblood@uchealth.org.